mayoral candidate will be on the general election ballot despite an attempt to block her candidacy by an ally of current Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who is
a mayoral candidate being challenged. The saga surrounding embattled South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard continues.
Tiffany Henyard, the embattled mayor of Dolton, Illinois, and supervisor of Thornton Township, has managed to dominate headlines once again, and not for the reasons you might expect from a public official. This story is a roller coaster of political chaos, power struggles, lawsuits, and public outrage that just keeps escalating. If you thought things couldn't get messier in Thornton Township, think again. The drama surrounding Henyard has reached a boiling point, and the ripple effects are being felt throughout the community. From shutting down government services to locking residents out in the cold, Henyard's actions have left everyone asking, how is this still happening?
Mayor Tiffany Henyard was not at the hearing here today. Neither was her attorney, and she was not made available for a comment.
Let's start with the latest bombshell, a full-blown government shutdown in Thornton Township. Yes, you heard that right. The township, which provides crucial services to residents, has been forced to close its doors because the Board of Trustees can't manage to show up for meetings. This isn't just a one-off incident either. For the fifth time in recent weeks, a meeting was canceled because there weren't enough trustees present to form a quorum. Without these meetings, basic township business like renewing insurance policies can't be conducted. And without insurance, the township can't legally operate, leading to the shutdown. Residents who rely on services like food assistance and transportation for medical appointments are now left in the lurch, all while township employees face potential layoffs just days before the holidays.
Lights are off behind me, the doors are locked here, and there's a sign on the building right now that says it's closed. For how long? Neither residents nor employees know at this point.
Henyard, of course, has been quick to shift the blame. In a recording from a recent meeting, she blasted absent trustees Carmen Carlisle and Chris Gonzalez for neglecting their duties and holding the township hostage. According to Henyard, their refusal to attend meetings is a deliberate attempt to block her from appointing someone to a vacant trustee position, someone who could provide the tie-breaking vote she needs to push through her agenda. It's not high school, Henyard declared, exasperated by the gridlock. But her critics see things differently. Trustee Gonzalez fired back, accusing Henyard of trying to consolidate power and warning that appointing her chosen trustee could open the door to more financial mismanagement and unchecked spending. We've been working hard to keep tabs on things like that, Gonzalez said, hinting at Henyard's controversial track record.
Our job is to govern, to provide a way, provide services. And we're not doing that because they're stalling government, gridlocking it, because they can't have their way.
And that track record is, frankly, staggering. Henyard has been under federal investigation for months, with subpoenas flying left and right. Allegations of financial mismanagement have dogged her tenure as both mayor of Dolton and supervisor of Thornton Township. Reports revealed lavish spending on taxpayer-funded trips, including one sparsely attended concert that cost over 85,000 currency units. Her namesake cancer charity was shut down after failing to account for how it spent donations, and her office was accused of unaccounted purchases like 40,000 currency units spent on Amazon in a single day. It's no wonder residents are fed up. The real business isn't being done because of all this nonsense, said one resident, summing up the community's frustration.
Again, no comment from Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Voters here will first head to the polls in February for the primary election, then the general mayoral election.
But Henyard's troubles don't end there. She's also locked in a bitter legal battle with the Democratic Party of Thornton Township after being unceremoniously booted from the ballot for next year's election. The drama unfolded earlier this month during a rare Democratic caucus, where State Senator Napoleon Harris, the party's committeeman, led a voice vote that excluded Henyard from the slate of candidates. Henyard has claimed the process was rigged, accusing Harris of voter suppression and alleging that her supporters were locked out of the venue. It's about control, Henyard said during a press conference. They can't beat me, so they're trying to shut me out. Harris, however, insists the caucus followed all party rules and state laws, calling Henyard's claims garbage.
It's manipulation. Nobody likes being manipulated, and when you get here, you know that's exactly what's happened.
To make matters worse, Henyard has been struggling to keep her seat as mayor of Dolton, where she's facing a fierce challenge from senior trustee Jason House. House, who has been leading efforts to unseat Henyard, has called her administration chaotic and unethical. He's pledged to restore checks and balances to the village and prioritize ethics reform if he's elected mayor. Meanwhile, Henyard has vowed to fight back, recently announcing her re-election bid on social media. She described herself as a super mayor and promised to bring change to the community, though many residents remain skeptical given her track record.
It's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Wow.
Let's talk about the title of this, because it's called Super Mayor, and that is what Tiffany Henyard calls herself.
The tension between Henyard and her critics reached new heights this week when she abruptly shut down Thornton Township's government. Residents and employees arrived at the township building to find the doors locked and a sign posted announcing the closure. Township Assessor Jacqueline D. Brown and her staff were among those caught. Off guard. We get no notification, no warning, nothing, Brown said, clearly frustrated by the lack of communication.
Friday, but was met by this sign.
Okay, here I am, and they disappeared now.
Henyard defended the shutdown as a necessary step, blaming the absent trustees for stalling government business. But critics argue that the insurance renewal could have been handled without board approval, accusing Henyard of using the issue as leverage to force a meeting and push through her trustee appointment. Trustee Carlisle called the situation irresponsible, warning that playing political games with essential services could have devastating consequences, and the timing couldn't be worse. With the holidays approaching, families who depend on the township's programs are now left in limbo.
Our hesitation is that if there's a person in there that will just say yes to everything, I mean, it will set us back.
The ripple effects of the shutdown are already being felt throughout the community. Residents who rely on township services like transportation for medical appointments and utility assistance are now scrambling to make alternative arrangements. Local advocacy groups have stepped in to fill the gap, but they say the demand is overwhelming. We're doing our best to help, but these are essential services that the township is supposed to provide, one volunteer coordinator said. This isn't just an inconvenience, it's a crisis for people who already live on the edge. The uncertainty has left many questioning whether the township's leadership is capable of prioritizing the needs of its most vulnerable residents. Adding to the frustration is the cancellation of the township's annual holiday toy giveaway, a beloved tradition that helps hundreds of local families each year. The event, which was planned for the coming weekend, was abruptly called off due to the shutdown. Parents who had been counting on the program to provide gifts for their children have expressed outrage, with some taking to social media to voice their concerns. This is what happens when politics gets in the way of doing what's right, one resident posted. Our kids are the ones paying the price. The cancellation has only deepened the community's distrust in its leadership, with many calling for immediate action to resolve the crisis.
We spoke to Henyard spokespeople today and trustees who are calling it a ploy.
What's going on? What do we do? What do we have to do?
As if this weren't enough, Henyard's handling of the media has also raised eyebrows. During a recent hearing on candidate objections, she invited reporters into a small office for a press conference only to have her staff kick out certain members of the press. Local YouTuber Burgundy Blue and reporters from 2 newspapers were told to leave, while television crews were allowed to stay. Burgundy Blue, who has been covering Henyard's controversies for months, described the experience as frustrating but unsurprising. She's always trying to control the narrative, Blue said. The incident has sparked outrage among journalists and residents alike, with many accusing Henyard of censorship.
We need some action. Somebody that's actually going to do their job. How about that? Somebody that's come in, work for the people, not themselves, and have pictures all over the place.
The chaos surrounding Henyard has even spilled into her personal life. She's currently facing eviction from a home in Dolton after allegedly failing to pay rent for several months. Court documents show that her landlord is seeking over 13,000 currency units in back rent and damages. Henyard reportedly moved out of the property in October, but her boyfriend Kamal Woods still resides there. The case has only added fuel to the fire, with critics questioning how someone under such financial strain can effectively manage public funds. Amid all this turmoil, residents are growing increasingly disillusioned. Many have taken to social media to vent their frustrations, with some calling for Henyard's resignation or even imprisonment. How is this woman not in prison by now? One commenter asked, reflecting the widespread anger in the community. Another wrote, so tired of hearing about her. Can't they just get her out of there? How can she hold the township hostage like this? These sentiments are echoed by those who have attended township meetings, only to watch them devolve into shouting matches and finger pointing.
It's shut down, and that is why the building is closed.
Well, we were advised by the attorneys to close the building. The building shouldn't be open. The risk is great.
It's clear that Thornton Township and the village of Dolton are at a crossroads. The political infighting, financial scandals, and lack of accountability have left residents feeling abandoned and betrayed. Many are now looking ahead to the upcoming elections as a chance to bring about real change. But with Henyard doubling down and her critics digging in, it's anyone's guess how this saga will play out. So what's next for Tiffany Henyard? Will she manage to hold onto her positions, or will the mounting pressure finally force her out? And more importantly, what will it take for the residents of Thornton Township and Dolton to see the change they desperately need? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you Team Henyard, or do you think it's time for her to step aside? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding drama. Until next time.